morning, everyone, and welcome to our session on the Accelerated Cybersecurity Training Program at the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst at Ryerson University. My name is Roxana Rozembaigher. I am the Admissions and Recruitment Specialist for the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst. And with me today, I have Juliana Shar. She is the Program Manager for the Accelerated Cybersecurity Training Program. Juliana, say hello.
Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you here today.
So Juliana and I are here today to tell you about this new job training program that was introduced last year as part of Ryerson University. The Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst falls under the Ryerson umbrella. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst, how we came to be, and then we'll go into the Accelerated Cybersecurity Training Program. For those of you who are interested in starting a career in cybersecurity. So the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst is a national center for cybersecurity, and we fall under the Ryerson umbrella. We are owned by Ryerson University. However, we operate separately from Ryerson University, but we also have the privilege of taking advantage and leveraging Ryerson's resources and entrepreneurial spirit to solve today's cybersecurity challenges in Canada. We have an amazing partnership with the Government of Canada, Rogers Communications, and the Royal Bank of Canada. And our purpose at the Catalyst is to educate Canadians and Canadian companies on how to tackle the challenges of cybersecurity. So currently, there is a major skills shortage in cybersecurity in Canada. And we have joined forces with our partners to tackle that labor shortage. So with our program, the Accelerated Cybersecurity Training Program, we are aiming to train and certify new cybersecurity professionals to address that skills shortage. Our program is a 7-month intensive cybersecurity job training and certification program, and it's designed to help you kickstart your career in cybersecurity. We created this partnership in partnership with SANS, and they are the world's leading cybersecurity training and certification firm. So throughout the course of the program, students have the opportunity to earn 2 world-recognized GX certifications in the program. And GX certifications are cybersecurity industry certifications that employers look for when you're applying to cybersecurity roles. So the first certification you get in the program is called your GSEC certification, which is your Security Essentials certification. And then you also get your Certified Incident Handler certification. On top of that, you would get a certificate of completion from the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst. However, one thing to note is that this is not a Ryerson degree or a Ryerson certificate program. This is a Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst program, and you're coming out of this 7-month program with 2 cybersecurity industry certifications ready to go into the job market right after graduation. So as I said, the purpose of the program is a job training program to bring an influx of trained and certified professionals into the cybersecurity industry in Canada. At the Catalyst, we have also reimagined the cybersecurity workforce. So our program provides a pathway to a career in cybersecurity for women, new Canadians, and recently displaced workers, as well as young workers. We are diversifying the workforce because we know that that will accelerate Canada's ability to defend its communities, its governments, and its industries. And we are really happy that our partner, CyberX, is promoting the conversation for diversity in cybersecurity. We know that in cybersecurity, we need a workforce that is as diverse as the attackers that are trying to penetrate our networks and systems in Canada. So we are looking for applicants and students from a wide variety of professional and personal backgrounds. In our program, we have people from marketing, from the education industry, from the accounting industry. We want people from all different kinds of industries who have decided to pivot their career into cybersecurity. And now I'll turn it over to my colleague, Juliana, to talk about how do you know if a career in cybersecurity is right for you?
Thanks so much, Roxana. Yeah, so how do you know if a career in cybersecurity is right for you? I'm sure you've heard lots about cybersecurity in the news. We hear about breaches in data and companies being attacked almost on a weekly basis now. And I'm sure for many of you, you're at this conference because that's piqued your interest in this field. So we include on this slide a couple of questions that you can ask yourself to really do that self-reflection and determine if a career in cybersecurity is the next right step for you. So are you comfortable with technology? Do you enjoy using technology? Are you curious about it? And do you like tinkering with it? Do you like solving problems? Do you like puzzles or games? Do you like figuring out how things work? Do you have a high attention to detail? And are you being commended by friends and family members all the time for your ability to spot inaccuracies or your ability to pay attention to details? Are you a critical thinker? Do you enjoy thinking critically about things and putting different pieces of information together, making an assessment or an evaluation about a situation? Do you like to analyze data and try to figure out what it means? Have you done that maybe in some of your past work? Do you work well in fast-paced environments? Are you able to stay calm and level-headed under a crisis situation? If you answer yes to these questions, then cybersecurity would be a great career path to consider, because these are the skills that we need in our cybersecurity professionals. So the next slide that we're showing, we're leveraging a report produced by Deloitte a couple of years ago called The Changing Faces of Cybersecurity. This was a really fantastic report published to discuss the cybersecurity market in Canada and to talk about the types of people that we need in the field. And so the Deloitte report really broke down cybersecurity career paths into what they call personas. And I think it's a really valuable way to think about different careers in cybersecurity and to identify where you might be a right fit. So that first persona is the defender. These are the people who are supporting and protecting our data and our systems and our networks. You can think about them as the police or the security guards of the digital world. And some common roles would be security systems analysts, security administrators, or information security analysts. The next persona or the next type of worker that we're looking for is the digital firefighter. These are first responders, people who go in when there's a crisis, when there's an incident that's happened, and they're there to manage the situation. So just like a firefighter runs into a burning building to save people and to save property and to put out a fire, our digital defenders are going in to save our digital assets, to save our access and our passwords, and to protect our systems and deal with an incident or a crisis when it occurs. Some of the common roles in this area would be security engineers, incident responder, vulnerability analyst, or network security analyst. And then the last group we'll talk about is the hackers. And these are the cool sort of stealth roles in cybersecurity for individuals who use their skills to test systems. So these are ethical hackers, these are white hat hackers, individuals who use their knowledge to support companies and organizations in testing their skills or testing their systems to see where there might be vulnerabilities so that they can patch them and fix them before a crisis occurs. So these people hack into their own systems or attempt to see where those problems exist, and then work with the systems defenders and the incident handlers to secure those systems. So as Roxana mentioned, this was a program that launched a year ago in February of 2020, and we're proud to have about 90 alumni already from our program who are making an impact in cybersecurity and securing many of the organizations that I'm sure you all interact with on a daily basis. And we wanted to provide a bit of an overview of what some of our alumni are doing. And so this is just a small sample of some of the job titles of our current alumni. And they are working as network security analysts in banks. They're working as security operations center analysts in managed security services companies. They're working for critical infrastructure companies. They're working for our telecommunications companies. They are working right now today supporting a lot of the organizations and the services that each one of us uses. And we're very proud of the accomplishments that they've had. So for those of you who are thinking about making a career change, there's a wide variety of different roles in cybersecurity, and you'll be able to find a role that meets your needs and meets your interests and leverages a lot of the skill sets that I'm sure you're bringing from other career paths. This is a very in-demand field, and so we're seeing individuals graduating our program receiving salaries ranging typically between $55,000 up to $80,000, depending on their previous experience. So for those of you thinking of making a career change, those are probably that's the salary range that you could expect as a starting cybersecurity professional. And as I mentioned, we've got alumni working in a wide variety of organizations across Canada. So again, this is a snapshot of where some of our alumni are currently working. We've got them supporting, government and other public sector organizations. We've got them working for colleges and universities, supporting telecommunications companies and banks, working for security services companies who they themselves support other organizations. So our alumni are working in a wide variety of companies to support and secure the Canadian society and the tools and the services that we all use every day. So we're going to pass it back to Roxana, who's going to give us a little bit more information about our program and what the admissions process looks like.
Okay, thanks so much, Juliana. So, of course, you're probably wondering who can apply to this program. I know we had a question already on, can students from other institutions apply to our program? Yes, absolutely. You don't have to be part of Ryerson to apply to this program. So we actually accept applications from students that qualify into certain streams. So the Catalyst and our funding partners have identified underrepresented groups that they would like to bring into cybersecurity. So these are the 4 streams that you would have to qualify into in order to be eligible to apply. So our first stream is the RBC Women in Cyber stream. And anyone who identifies as a female can apply to this stream. The next stream we offer is the RBC New Careers in Cyber stream. And this one is open to anyone who has lost their full-time employment in the last 36 months and has been unable to obtain another full-time position since that time. So because of COVID-19, this is actually a very popular stream. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of people who have been laid off from their full-time jobs. They've had to pick up survival jobs to make ends meet. These are the kind of folks that we're looking for the RBC New Careers in Cyber stream. Then we have the Rogers New Canadians in Cyber stream, and this stream is open to anyone who has been in Canada for at least 2.5 years and has been unable to find full-time employment that aligns with their education and skills. So as probably some of you who have experienced, you come to Canada, you immigrate to Canada, and it's sometimes hard to continue a career that you've had back home in the Canadian market. So for example, if you were a lawyer, an accountant in your home country, but you have been unable to continue in that career path in Canada, and now you've decided you want to start a new career, possibly in cybersecurity, those would be the type of people that would qualify for the Rogers New Canadians in Cyber stream. And lastly, our newest stream, which we just added for our current cohort, is the Peel Region Young Workers in Cyber stream. And this stream is open to residents of the Peel region, so Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon, between the ages of 18 to 30 who are unemployed, underemployed, or working part-time. So we have found that the residents of Peel have been very greatly impacted by COVID-19, especially the young workers in Peel. And the government of Canada has generously given us more funding to be able to add this stream for the May 2021 cohort. So currently we are recruiting for our May cohort. Applications are open until March 14th for the May cohort. And then the next cohort after that will be October 2021. The October cohort is a women's only cohort. So it's only for the RBC Women in Cyber stream. And then we have another cohort coming up in February of 2022, and May of 2022, and October of 2022. So there's lots of opportunities to apply, 3 different entry points per year. So just our program is also fully funded. So this is actually something we forgot to mention earlier on. So it is tuition free. The value of the program is about $25,000 US per student. And through the generous partnership of the Government of Canada and Rogers Communications and RBC, we are able to offer this program tuition free for applicants who are eligible into one of these streams and successfully pass the admission process. The other things that you need to have to be qualified to apply is you have to be a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or convention refugee. You have to be at least 18 years of age to apply to any of these 4 streams. However, there is no age limit other than the one for the Peel region stream, which you have to be 30 or under. And finally, we're looking for applicants with a broad variety of personal and professional experiences, like I mentioned before. However, successful candidates that get admitted to the program will have a high aptitude for cybersecurity and a demonstrated interest in cybersecurity. So what I mean by high aptitude is that we will be testing your aptitude for a career in cybersecurity. So as part of the admission process, which is on our website, you will have to pass an aptitude assessment. And the aptitude assessment will measure your aptitude for a career in cybersecurity. So it is a technical assessment, but it is not measuring your technical knowledge. It's measuring your aptitude to pick up technical knowledge quickly and apply it. So on the assessment, which is a 50-question assessment with a time limit of 2 hours, you may be given questions like, they'll describe how a firewall functions. And then from that description, you'll have to answer a question where there's multiple choice answers. So just keep in mind that it is an aptitude assessment and it's measuring your aptitude, not your technical knowledge. You do not have to come from a technical background to take part in this program. In fact, we want people to apply from non-tech backgrounds. We have students in the program, I'd say maybe about 50% of students or more come from a non-tech background. So it is definitely possible to do well on the assessment and be admitted if you don't come from a tech background.
I just have one quick question, Roxana.
Sure.
Do you have a fast track program for folks to get trained in 1 semester?
No, we do not. Our program is 7 months and it is already very accelerated and intensive. So it's just, 3 extra months on top of that semester. But this is a fast track program already. Any other questions?
No, that's it for now.
No? Okay, awesome. So as I mentioned, we have students in the program that come from many different backgrounds. Students who have studied creative writing and philosophy, urban planning, marketing, healthcare, environmental studies. They formerly worked as teachers, chefs, artists, project managers, pharmacists, doctors, accountants, and much, much more. So we have, a very broad variety of students from very different professional backgrounds who were admitted to the program, are doing very well in the program, or have already graduated from the program and have been employed in cybersecurity upon graduation. So the mandate of the program is not only to train and certify new people in cybersecurity, but it's also to help them find employment at the end of the program. So that is the final goal, is to get people employed in entry-level roles in cybersecurity upon graduation. Now I'm going to pass it back on to Juliana to tell you about a few success stories in our program.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Roxana. Just to echo what Roxana was saying about the backgrounds of some of our students, they do come from a wide and diverse educational and professional backgrounds. And we've heard consistently over and over again from industry that they love to see the transferable skills that our students are bringing from these other backgrounds. They're bringing great communication skills. They're bringing really great project management and client management skills and relationship building skills. They're bringing knowledge of other industries or different aspects of a business into their roles in security. And that's really helping to round out and diversify these security teams and helping to ensure that they're tackling problems and they're thinking about problems from a wide variety of different perspectives. So for those in the audience who might be considering a career in cybersecurity who come from a non-technical background, know that you have skills that the industry is looking for. And our program was designed specifically to help augment and add to those skills by providing you with technical certifications so that you bring a wonderful blend of technical knowledge and transferable skills into the industry. So as Roxana said, we wanted to share a couple of success stories of two of our alumni. So the first I'll speak about is Nadia. So Nadia did a degree in urban and regional planning. Always was interested in technology and wanted to study technology. But at the time when she entered university, just didn't know if technology was the right space for her. And so she ended up selecting urban and regional planning. She had a couple of different roles, moved around a little bit, but constantly felt that passion for technology sort of nagging at her a little bit, and made that decision to formally step into a technical role by joining our program. Nadia had not had any formal training in technology prior to starting our program, but she'd always been interested in it and was dabbling in it on her own, teaching herself things through online courses and through YouTube, speaking with friends and family who worked in the industry. And so she stepped into our program, was extremely successful, scored very well in both of her certification exams, had the opportunity to interview with Rogers Communications about halfway through her program and just blew the interviewers away and was offered a position, I think, the next day. So Nadia is currently working for Rogers Communications in their cybersecurity department and has been a huge asset to their team. And the other story I want to share is Syed. So Syed came with his family to Canada in 2018. He'd had a long career in his home country working in networking, and was looking, as many people are, looking to utilize those skills in Canada, and hadn't yet been able to find a full-time continuous role that leveraged his skills and experience. He was very interested in cybersecurity. He attended a couple of different networking events, and like Nadia, was self-studying to learn the skills to start his career. And again, like Nadia, was very successful in our program, was a key contributor to our student community, and shortly after graduating was offered a position to join RBC as a network security analyst. So Nadia and Syed are both, great examples of successful students who've come through our program. Nadia came from a non-technical background. Syed came from a technical background. We see people from both types of backgrounds coming into our program and being equally successful and being able to secure employment in cybersecurity and make a contribution to the cybersecurity industry in Canada. And we look forward to welcoming many of you, hopefully, into our future cohorts and helping to launch your success stories as well.
Awesome,
I'll hand it back to Roxana to just finalize how to apply for the program.
Thank you so much. So as I mentioned, applications for the May cohort are open. You can apply on our website at cybersecurecatalyst.ca. Make sure that when you visit the website, you're clicking on the training program tab. It is the first tab across top. There are other tabs with the word accelerator in it, but just make sure that you're clicking on the training program tab to access the application requirements, the admission requirements, etc. So the deadline to apply for the May cohort is March 14th. However, as I mentioned, there are future cohorts you'll be able to apply to if you don't get your application in for this one. So the October 2021 cohort is for the RBC Women in Cyber stream only, and applications will open in June. Then we have the February 2022 cohort, which we accept applications for the new Canadians, the new careers, and the women's stream, and applications open in October. And then we will have May 2022 for the same 3 streams as well, and applications will open in January of 2022. So these 3 cohorts are offered every year. They will be offered again in 2023. So don't worry if you don't qualify for one of them now, like let's say you have not been in Canada long enough to qualify for the Rogers New Canadians in Cyberstream, you can always wait till the following year to apply to that stream as well. If you have specific eligibility questions and you're not sure if you qualify into one of our streams, please feel free to contact us directly at catalysttraining@ryerson.ca. We're happy to answer all of your eligibility questions. You can even send us a copy of your resume and we can take a quick review and tell you if you're eligible for one of the streams. And then we'd be happy if you followed us on social media on Twitter, cybersecure_CA, or the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst at Ryerson University on LinkedIn. And that's it for us. So now I'm happy to open up the floor to questions. I see some are in the chat here. Let's see.
First question was, are there any opportunities like this available to international students?
So currently we are not accepting applications from international students. The reason being because we are trying to address the cybersecurity skills shortage in Canada, and it is a fully funded program. We want to ensure that the students that we admit and are graduating from the program are legally entitled to work in Canada and are permanently living in Canada so that we can address that labor shortage in Canada. So if you are a student and you do end up staying in Canada after you complete your degree and eventually get your PR, then we would welcome your application at that time.
The next question was, do you have a limit of how many students will be admitted to the program for each cohort?
Yes, great question. So depending on the cohort, there's a different number of students we admit. So for the May cohort, we are admitting 80 students, 20 students per stream. So 4 streams and 20 students each. So for a total of 80. For the October women's cohort, we will be admitting 40 women. And then for the February 2022 cohort and May 2022 cohort, we'll be admitting 60 students. So again, 20 per stream for the 3 streams. As I mentioned, the Peel Young Workers in Cyber stream is only for the May cohort. So if you do qualify for the Peel stream, I would urge you to apply now because we don't know if we're going to be offering that stream again next year.
And then the next question was, do you support entrepreneurship in cybersecurity? And can students incubate their ideas with you?
Great question. Juliana, do you want to take this one?
Sure, absolutely. So the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst runs a business accelerator as well to support and grow entrepreneurship in cybersecurity. And these are this accelerator is intended for small companies who have either a product or service in cybersecurity and who are looking to scale rapidly. So we do support entrepreneurship in cybersecurity, absolutely. But it is a business accelerator and not an incubator. So we are looking for businesses that are a little bit further along. But there are many other great incubator spaces out there. The DMZ at Ryerson is a great avenue to look at if you're at the early stages of looking to kind of launch a new company related to cybersecurity. And then you might be eligible for our business accelerator a little bit later as your company is a little bit more developed.
Awesome. Another question is, are all of your training materials in English? Yes, so the program is in English. The books that you receive in the program, which are also free of charge, are all in English. So you do have to be able to speak and write and read effectively in English to be part of this program. As I mentioned, it's very accelerated, so you'll have to go through the material very quickly and pick up the information and be able to apply it quickly. And then the certification exams that you write are very long exams. So for example, your first one, the GSEC exam, the Security Essentials exam, is a 5-hour proctored exam. It's open book. You are allowed to bring in your textbooks and your written or printed notes. But you do, in order to be able to pass that type of certification exam, you do have to have very effective English skills. Another question is, how many applicants do you usually see for each cohort? Great question. So typically it's somewhere around the 500 to 600 mark, anywhere around there for each cohort of applicants. How have your programs changed because of the pandemic? Excellent question. I have not had that one before. So originally, when we started in February 2020, we have 3 weeks of in-class sessions for this program. Out of the 7 months, there are 3 weeks of mandatory in-class sessions. So those class sessions were originally scheduled to be physically in person in our Brampton Training Center. But then the pandemic hit and we had to quickly switch everything to virtual. So right now, all of our cohorts are completely virtual. So for the 3 weeks of mandatory in-class time, they are virtual live classes instead. So there is still a live instructor. You are expected to log on and participate for the full 3 weeks of those classes. However, you can do so from the comfort of your own home. Any other questions?
We're happy to address any more questions if anyone's curious about the program or wants to hear a little bit more about how what some of our alumni are doing.
Okay. Would love to hear about some of your alumni.
Anything specific? Whoever asked the question, if you want to give me a we've had many successful alumni. They're huge advocates and supporters of the program. They're making contributions to a wide variety of organizations, as I said earlier. One of the really, I think, important things to note about the program, because it is a small cohort, as Roxana was saying, we admit about 60 to 80 people through each cohort. Our alumni network becomes a really tight group of people. So this program is a wonderful way for you to not only receive the training you'd be looking for to start your career in cybersecurity, but to also network and get to know other people within the field. Particularly for women who are looking to step into cybersecurity, we know that there is a gender disparity in the field. Our program provides the opportunity to study with and meet with and work with 20 other women who are also on the same journey as you. And our alumni have formed really strong friendships that go beyond just professional colleagues. And they're very active in their connection and support of one another even after the program has finished.
Awesome. We do have a couple of questions for you here. Have any of them made a large pivot into cybersecurity, and are they experiencing success?
Yeah, absolutely. I think on one of our previous slides, we had indicated some of the backgrounds of some of our alumni. So we've got people who worked as elementary school teachers, who work as chefs. We've got former accountants, former marketing professionals who are all now working in cybersecurity. And in addition to that, we haven't highlighted quite as much, but plenty of people who come from different areas of IT as well, who've worked in networking or worked in quality assurance and testing. We've got software developers. So we've highlighted some of those non-technical backgrounds, but we also have many individuals who did come from other areas of IT. For different people, the size of that pivot or the degree to that pivot might be different. For some individuals who worked in, say, networking previously, it might be a bit of a smaller shift into cybersecurity. But for individuals who worked as chefs or teachers or accountants, I know for them it was a big shift. But as I said, there's a really strong group of students that work together. And so those who are making that big career change have been able to lean on peers who are doing the same thing and work through those technical challenges and work through those, that pivot together and support each other as they're adapting.
And if I can add something to that, if you follow the Rogers Cybersecure Catalyst on LinkedIn, you will be able to connect with some of those alumni. They're always eager to help, potential applicants and answer questions. They join some of our info sessions. They join orientation. They've become alumni coaches now, where they're helping our current classes. They're still helping with study groups. So we have a very active alumni group, and I would encourage all of you to follow us on LinkedIn, because they often post on our LinkedIn page. They share their stories. They share, every time they get a certification, they post it on LinkedIn. Everybody's congratulating them. So there's definitely a big opportunity for potential applicants to connect on LinkedIn with our alumni and get some insider tips on, their experience in the program, their experience with the application process. And it's also a great way for applicants to, do their research before applying to the program, because, as with any career, when you're deciding if you're going to make that career switch, you want to do your research. You want to make sure that, you've been on LinkedIn, you know what types of roles are out there, you've researched other programs, you've researched the certifications that you're getting in this program to see how valuable they are. You've researched SANS to know what type of training you're getting in this program. So definitely connect with our alumni on LinkedIn and do your research on cybersecurity before applying to our program. We do have other questions here that are asking, would you recommend someone working full-time to participate? So Julianne, I'll pass that on to you. You have experience with the students in the program.
Sure, absolutely. We definitely have seen many individuals who are working full-time participate in the program. I would say from our past alumni and current students, it's about 50% of our students are working, either full-time or part-time, and about 50% are unemployed. For those who are working full-time though, I recommend really, sitting down, speaking with your family, speaking with, other important members of your life, and making sure that you've got a significant amount of time to dedicate to this program. We tell new students to prepare to spend a minimum of 25 hours a week in study. So if you're working a full-time job, that means you're studying, 5 nights a week and probably a full day on the weekend. There are many people in the program who are doing it, but they will tell you that it is a big commitment and it is a big sacrifice for them in terms of some other, things in their life that they're not able to do. They're not socializing as much. They've had to lean on partners to help with childcare and care of other family members. So it's a big commitment, and we do ask those who are working full time to make sure that they're prepared and able to spend at least 25 hours a week studying.
Right. And on the flip side of that, it's only a 7-month program, so you're not dedicating your time to 2, 3, or 4-year degree programs. It's 7 months, and you come out of this program with 2 industry certifications, as well as being job ready upon graduation. So 7 months fly by in this program. And if you are able to, buckle down and commit that time just for those 7 months, it is well worth it in the end, especially because you are getting a tuition-free program and industry certifications out of that.
Absolutely. I'll just jump in. There was one other question around virtual classes in the future. So due to the pandemic, we are offering all of our cohorts for 2021 virtually. And we'll be monitoring the situation closely to determine if our 2022 classes will be in class or virtual. And so you'll be able to see updates on that on our website.
We have another question that came in. Can you further discuss the structure of the program? Mentioned 3 weeks in virtual live classes, and could you tell us about the other components? Sure. So I think the best way to do that actually is just to take you to our website and show you where everything is. All of the information is on our website. So just give me 1 second here. Share my screen. Open new slide and go to our website here. Can everybody see our website?
Yes,
yeah, okay, perfect. So as I mentioned, you will want to click on the training program tab here at the top left corner. And then if you scroll down to the detailed course schedule, this is specifically for the May cohort. It gives you the exact dates of all of the in-class sessions, or I should say the virtual class sessions, and all of the online self-study sessions. So you'll see that every cohort will begin with a mandatory orientation, and that is the weekend before the program starts. So for the May cohort, you're looking at Saturday, May 8th, a full day of orientation. And then you go into 6 weeks of self-study for your first course, which is SANS Foundations, Computers, Technology, and Security. And here it's self-study online on your own time for 25 to 40 hours a week, depending on how many hours you want to put in. But as we said, it is a minimum 25-hour time commitment per week for the whole 7 months. And then the 7th week, you have to write your SANS Foundations exam. And this is a proctored online exam. And you do have to pass the SANS Foundations exam in order to continue in the rest of the program. And then after your first course, you go into your second course, which is SEC 401 Security Essentials Bootcamp. And this is your first week in your virtual class, and that's July 5th to 10th. And it's Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And these are virtual live classes. You will get your books mailed to your house the week before. And you will go through about 1 book per day in this class. So 6 books, 6 days. This is the class where you learn all of the material for security essentials. And then we give you 7 weeks after that to self-study and review everything you learned in the boot camp and prepare for your first certification exam, which is your GSEC exam. So the week of August 30th to September 3rd, you will register for the exam 1 day that week. And that exam is a 5-hour open book proctored exam. The passing score for the GSEC exam is 74%. It's not a 50% passing score, it's 74%, just keep that in mind. And then once you pass your GSEC exam, you're going to come in for your second live class from September 13th to 18th. And this is Hacker Techniques, Exploits, and Incident Handling. Again, a virtual live class, Monday to Friday, Monday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Tuesday to Saturday, 9 to 5. So these are very intensive weeks. And if you are admitted to the program as part of your offer of admission, it's a condition that you sign off on that you are able to attend these 3 weeks in class. You cannot complete the program without attending these classes, because this is where you're learning all of the information. So after your second week in class, you get another 7 weeks to self-study and review everything that you learned and prepare for your second certification exam, which is your Certified Incident Handler exam. And that would be the week of November 8th to 12th. The GCIH exam, I believe, is a 3-hour exam, if I'm not mistaken. And it is also a proctored open book exam. Then you would come in for your last week of virtual class, which is November 15th to 19th. And that is Cybersecurity and Business. And that's Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And there is no certification exam attached to the business course. And then once you have passed those 2 certifications, you start your career journey. You start applying for jobs. We help you with your career development and transitioning into a career in cybersecurity. We help you with resume writing, interview techniques. We host regular employer info sessions with employers that want to hire students from our program. Juliana regularly sends out job postings in cybersecurity for students to apply to. So we do have a very comprehensive employment help program that Juliana can tell you a lot more about than I can, because she manages that part.
Oh, I think you covered it really well, Roxana. Yeah, as Roxana said, we're here to support and guide you in terms of writing technical resumes, in terms of how to sell those non-technical previous careers. How do you talk about your skills when you're a teacher or you're an accountant and you're moving into cybersecurity? We can walk you through all of that and help you get ready for that job search. And what we ask for from you is really a commitment and a dedication to that job search. We know that the industry needs new cyber professionals, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you walk out of our program and you have a job the next day. There is a process, and we need our students to be committed and engaged in working with us and engaging in that job search. But we feel confident that those who do will be successful, and we've seen that with our alumni.
Awesome. So yeah, we have a lot more questions coming in. Okay. So let me first take you through the application process, because I think the next few questions are related to the application process. So it is a rigorous admission process, again, because we have a limited amount of spots, and it is an accelerated and intensive program. So we need to ensure that the students who are getting admitted have the aptitude to complete the program, and also have the desire and motivation to start a career in cybersecurity. So the application process looks like this. The first step is to complete the initial application form on our website. So you would do that by clicking on Apply Now. It takes you to a Google form, and you fill in all of this information on the application. Then within a week of applying, you will receive an email from us asking you to complete 2 more steps, which include the SANS Cyber Talent Aptitude Assessment. So this is the aptitude test I was telling you about before, as well as complete the Kira Talent Assessment. Kira Talent is an interview platform. So all of our applicants also have to complete an online interview and submit certain documents. This is not a live interview, it's a pre-recorded interview. So, for example, Juliana will ask you a pre-recorded question. You will be given some prep time to jot some notes down, and then you will be given a certain amount of time to respond to that question. And then once you've completed the assessment and you click submit, it gets sent to the admissions committee. So the SANS Cyber Talent Aptitude Assessment, like I mentioned, it's 50 questions. You have up to 2 hours to complete the assessment, and it measures skills like logic, critical thinking, knowledge application, attention to detail, problem solving, and fundamental computer knowledge that are all necessary to excel in this program and pass the certifications. We've also taken the liberty to include some example questions on the FAQ section of our website. So there's about 4 example questions you can take a look at. The answers are not there, so you'll have to figure out if you're right or wrong in your responses. The assessment is a multiple choice assessment, so there's no short answers or anything like that. It's multiple choice. And as for the Kira Talent Assessment, this is where you would upload your documents, so an up-to-date resume, 2 reference letters, which can be either personal, professional, or academic. And we mention here the things that we would like your referees to include in the reference letter. And you'll also have to submit a statement of interest, telling us why you're interested in the program, why you're interested in cybersecurity, what you hope to accomplish after completing this program. And then after you upload your documents to the Kira Talent platform, that's when you will get access to the interview questions. So it is a lengthy application process, but if you put some time and effort in it, it's a small price to pay for a tuition-free program. So I do suggest that if you decide to apply to the program, take some time to write your statement of interest. Think about the referees that you would like to ask to write reference letters for you, and contact them in advance. Don't wait till the last minute. And we also offer practice questions in the Kira Talent portal. So please take advantage of the practice questions. They're there for a reason. They're there to help you get comfortable on camera, talking to a screen like we're doing right now. And it's also there to help you, form concise answers. So you can practice those questions as many times as you want. The admissions committee does not see your practice question answers. But once you start the formal interview assessment, you can't exit and come back to it. So just, take your time, prepare before you attempt either assessment. So someone is asking, in addition to showing high aptitude, commitment, and interest in cybersecurity, is there anything else that you look for in a successful applicant? So everything you mentioned there is exactly what we look for: high aptitude, demonstrated interest in cybersecurity, and a commitment to a career in cybersecurity. And if those 3 things come through in your application, then you have a good chance of being admitted. The other question is,
Roxana, I'm just wondering if maybe you could define what you mean by demonstrated interest.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're looking for is, have you done your research on cybersecurity? Or is this a program that you just kind of discovered yesterday and decided, hey, why don't I try my hand at cybersecurity? So, do your research, maybe take some, a couple free online courses that are even a couple of hours long, maybe a day long. So you understand what cybersecurity is about and you understand if you like it. Like, are you going to like spending all of your time on a computer trying to solve problems and, get one step ahead of those hackers? So that demonstrated interest will come through in your application. It should come through in your statement of interest. It should come through in your video interview. And it sometimes will come through in your aptitude assessment, especially if you've taken the time to do some self-studying online before applying to the program and attempting the assessment. Another question I see is, for the self-study weeks, do you have access to teachers for questions? So yes, you do actually. You have what's called a SANS technical mentor, and they are there to help you throughout the online portion of the program. So during your boot camp weeks, you have your SANS instructors that are teaching. And then during the self-study weeks, we have SANS technical mentors. We have one mentor assigned to each stream. And you will have weekly check-in calls with your stream and your mentor to go through the material that's supposed to be covered that week, to identify any difficulties you're having with the material. And the SANS technical mentors are there to walk you through that material and help you understand the concepts better.
And these are technical mentors who earned these certifications. So they all hold the certifications that you're studying for as well. They've been through these boot camps. They've written these exams.
Yeah. So again, just to wrap up, all of the information that we talked about is on our website. So admissions and eligibility. If you're unsure if you fit into one of the streams, we go into more detail about eligibility requirements here for these streams. One quick thing to mention is that if you are currently enrolled in another academic program, you would not be eligible to apply at this time. You cannot be enrolled in two programs at the same time. So please finish your current program before applying to ours. And if you are already working in cybersecurity, you may not be eligible for the program. So we assess these types of situations on a case-by-case basis, but our program is meant to train new people in cybersecurity. It is not meant to upskill people who are already in cybersecurity. And finally, the application process, the course syllabuses of what you'll be studying are also on our website. The FAQ, which I strongly encourage all of you to go through. And then once you're ready to apply, you can click on the Apply Now tab and it takes you here to the Google form that you'll have to fill in. And I think that's all we have time for today. And again, if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us at catalysttraining@ryerson.ca. And both mine and Juliana's contact information is on our website here under Contact Us, About Us. I think. Nope.
It is, yeah.
There we go. Contact us. Sorry. Yeah, so you can find all of our contact information here if you have any other questions. Okay, thanks so much. We look forward to receiving all of your applications.